tattoo barber.
This is our Independence Day for all our American viewers.
Bruh, you're going to have people hating us the way you come in here. Their ears are going to be shocked, and they're just like, whoa, okay.
I didn't get to finish my rant, okay?
Okay.
This is our Independence Day. However, we are not an elite flight group of trained aviators fighting an alien mothership. However, we are welcoming you back to the Deadlight Society. I'm Adam.
And I'm Michael.
And welcome to Earth.
Welcome to Earth.
I needed to have my Independence Day rant because today is July 4th.
For us.
And it's the only time to watch this classic. However, that's not what we're talking about today.
It's like, wait a minute, where are you going here?
I got it free on my cable box, and I watched it like 2 days ago, and I'm addicted again. I watched that movie so much as a kid, and it's one of the greatest, like, I want to say it's horror, but it's more like sci-fi, obviously.
Yeah.
But it has a lot of scary shit in it that actually scared the living shit out of me as a kid.
Fair enough. It's been a really long time since I've seen that, but, like, all those, like, Olympus Has Fallen and, like, movies like that, so.
Respect the Goldblum. Respect
All right.
the Goldblum.
There's respect.
Okay. Will Smith can get fucked, though. Anyway, before we start our conversation on The Witch today, I have a very serious question to ask Michael.
Oh, boy.
It's been plaguing my mind for days. Will you marry me?
We literally just joked about it. He was telling me, he's like, I have a question to ask you, but I have to save it for the podcast. And I'm like, okay, like, what the fuck? And he's like, it's probably something really stupid, and you're probably going to say no. And I was like, are you going to ask me to marry you or some shit? Because, yeah, no. But, okay, what is your real question, please?
I wanted to know, and we can talk logistics of it on the podcast here, but would it be possible for if you die of natural causes, can I turn your skin into a jacket?
Oh, God, Jesus. Yeah, that is not what I was expecting at all. My skin into a jacket. Like, how much skin are we talking here?
I don't know if I only would need, like, your torso or if I'd need more.
Okay.
I don't, like, that's what I mean. Like, what are the logistics of it? That's why I want to talk about it on the podcast, because how do we turn Michael into a jacket?
Well, honestly, I feel like it would be pretty easy if you just use, like, my arms and my torso, because it's literally already jacket-shaped. Am I right?
I assume.
Like,
but, like, will it fit me, number one?
I don't think so. No, my arms are
That's what I mean. So I'm going to need to, like, let it out a little bit and get, like, a tailor in here and, like, try to figure out how much of Michael's skin do I need to tan and how much of Michael hide do I need to tan.
This is so hard to have as a serious conversation because all I want to do is laugh. But, I don't know. I feel like hold on. Skin stretches, right? So, like, you could probably just...
Well, that's what, like, the
Skin
tanning
me.
process does.
Jesus Christ. This is not me giving consent, by the way.
I want your consent because I'm either going to wear it every day and pass it off as, oh yeah, it's just a tattooed deer.
Jesus Christ.
Or it's going to be in a display case. It just says, here lies Michael at the top.
Okay. I got to get a little bit more tattoos first to make it a little bit cooler, but...
I like the tattooed deer.
The tattooed deer.
Jacket
Oh, my God.
idea.
I don't think I would be deer-shaped, though.
People are none the wiser. People are dumb.
Well, I mean, you're right, but I don't think that I would walk up to seeing human skin and think any way that that's a deer skin.
I don't know how different. Does it look different?
I feel like if you... Dude,
I'm sorry I've never looked up tanned human skin to see if it matches deer.
Well, first of all, the tattoos are going to give it away. You don't tattoo a fucking deer, especially not a
You don't
Scooby-Doo
know
goddamn
that.
silhouette
You
down their
use
arm.
pig skin as practice. Somebody can be using a live deer.
No.
Yes.
I don't...
You don't know.
I mean, you're right, I don't know, but, like, I wouldn't automatically
You don't
assume
know
it's
what
a
redneck
deer.
is out in those woods with a tattoo gun. Putting a Scooby-Doo tattoo on a deer.
I don't know, homie, but maybe. But yeah, no, but even so, even if you were to somehow fucking think that that's a deer skin, if, like I'm saying, if you take the skin from my arms all the way like down to my torso or whatever and like hang it up, like it's gonna be body shaped. Like how do you, like torso and arms? You know what I'm saying? Like how do you mistake
like
that
you
for
cut
a
it
deer?
in like strips and stuff and sew it together like an actual jacket.
Okay, Leatherface. Like what the fuck are you trying to say?
I'm giving you the process of what it is to make a jacket out of animal skin that we already use and applying it to human skin. Your skin in particular.
My skin in particular. Okay. I don't fucking know, man.
I don't know either. That's what I want to talk about. It's an important question.
It is not the question that I thought that was going to go. I thought it was going to be about a movie or a TV show and like an opinion that I had, and he comes out here with, "Can I skin you?" What the fuck? Again, this is not me giving consent just because I'm talking about it.
What we were talking about the other day, like I was sending you like all the oddity stuff.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, there are now plans being unfolded to potentially get a video studio in the works. So if you want to help us out, hit up that donation button on Spotify.
Please.
Or Anchor. Or wherever you listen to.
Or ask for our Cash App.
Or at.
Spare change, please.
But yeah, that's in movement. So hopefully next few months we'll be able to get that up and running.
Yes, so you can see our faces finally. I don't know what we look like. We're uglier in person though, so.
See, I don't mind the voice, but I'm probably going to look at that video and be like, I hate this. Throw it away, please.
Yeah.
But we were talking about all the different oddities and like the preserved bats and stuff like that. And I got to thinking, if Michael dies and I'm left to do this podcast on my own very early, could I preserve his skin and have it as part of the studio set?
Just like wrap it on a fake skeleton.
Yeah.
Just have me sitting there with you.
Yep.
What do you think, Michael?
Exactly.
He agrees.
See, now that I explain it, you understand.
Okay, I get that. I do understand that. I won't lie. I'll only consent if you consent. If it's like opposite, like if you die first, can we skin you too?
Yeah. Of course. I don't care what you do with my body once I'm dead.
Fair enough.
Like, fuck all my holes. Like I don't feel it.
Well, I don't know about that. God, Jesus Christ. God, where did this topic come from?
Obviously skinning you into a jacket.
Okay, that's completely different than fucking your dead body. Jesus Christ.
You don't know what happens to you after you die.
I mean, you're right, but I would hope not that.
I don't care. Because you know why? Because I'm fucking dead.
Yeah, you're not wrong, I guess.
Pay my family for the privilege.
Okay.
Throw me off a cliff afterward. I don't give a fuck.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. You don't feel it anymore, so... But, you know.
Genuinely, that's the one thing. Like, I fully give you consent to do whatever the fuck you want to my dead body afterwards.
Well, I can promise you, I'll probably just bury you and just cry at your casket. That's about it.
Don't do it. I expect a skin jacket.
A skin jacket, okay. I don't think your mom would consent to that.
At least, like, take a tattoo or something. Like, just take, like, a square of skin and just, like, preserve that. And just hang it on the wall.
All right, yeah, take my Scooby-Doo one off and just preserve that on the wall.
Just take the Shaggy and Scooby.
It's a silhouette of the Scooby Gang running down my arm, so he just has to take, like, a big strip of my arm off and just preserve that for me.
At least you just need, like, a Pac-Man ghost off of my arm. And just, like, that little square.
Little square, okay.
Like a little wallet picture.
Okay.
But no, this is my best friend's skin.
Yeah, that's definitely one to bring up at a party.
Conversation starter.
I'd say that's definitely a conversation starter. You're not wrong.
How did you acquire such piece of skin? How long were you friends? Are you okay?
Yeah, I feel like the "Are you okay" is gonna come like after I leave. Then they would be like, "What the fuck was up with that dude, huh?"
Like, he just showed us the skin. Like, I didn't even ask.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
All right, on that note, though.
Okay.
The little bit of horror news that we have today.
Yeah.
Stranger Things 4, Volume 2 is now out and completed.
Yes.
And holy shit, no spoilers here, but the scene.
Yes.
You know what scene.
You know what scene. I mean, do you really? Scene. Because there's multiple scenes that are really
there's
good, but like
2 big scenes.
Yes, you're right. There's 2, and
both backed by music.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm not going to spoil the music that they use, but everybody knows at least the first scene at this point.
Yeah.
Is Running Up That Hill by Kate Bush.
Yes.
Which that whole scene gave me fucking goosebumps,
oh, yeah.
and I loved it.
100%.
This next scene, I fucking was cheering.
Yeah.
The second it happened, I was like, fuck, yes! Like, I heard the opening riff, and I just got so hyped.
Yeah. This season has been immaculate, truly. And I know when we talked about this a few episodes ago, I was saying about, like, oh, yeah, season 3 is definitely my favorite season. And, yeah, no, it's
just wrong.
100%.
Wrong.
I know, you said you like season 2 better, but whatever, fuck you, I don't care. But this one is
now
definitely
I like
better.
season 4 the most out of everything.
You're right. And that's the right opinion to have.
I really wonder. I mean, we've seen how it's going to go from here.
Yes.
But, like, I wonder how it's going to play out still. I assume 11's going to die.
I don't know. He's pretty powerful.
I assume she's going to die. No happy endings for 11.
I mean, that wouldn't surprise me at this point, because maybe, like, she would have to die in order for this to, like,
that's
fully go away.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that might be what happens, but I'm hoping not. I'm hoping that something good can come of all the bad that happened this season, which, again, not giving any spoilers away or anything, or trying not to, but if you watched it, you know how it ended and, like, how it's setting it up for season 5, which is the last season. So I loved the season, though. It was really good.
And then after fucking that, they're working with Spielberg on The Talisman.
Yes.
A Stephen King adaptation, which everybody has been, like, asking for years. And it's finally coming into fruition by the Duffer Brothers, and I'm fucking pumped.
Yeah, apparently.
Because that's a great fucking book.
Yeah, apparently, I think it said Stephen King sold the rights to it to Spielberg a while ago, and he was trying to make a movie adaptation to it, and it just wasn't working out, like, the direction that he was trying to go. He just couldn't figure it out, couldn't do it, and now apparently the Duffer Brothers have signed off, and they're going to be making this movie, or I don't know if it's going to be a movie or a TV show. I'm assuming a movie, but I don't.
Maybe it might be a series.
It might. I don't know. I forget.
That's why I'm wondering if it's, since it's held by the Duffer Brothers, it'll probably be a series.
It might be. But hey, I'm down for it, because the Duffer Brothers have produced nothing short of amazingness so far. So
they've proven themselves to me, so they definitely have my book. They book my vote.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see whatever else comes out of them, for sure. Like, they've been pretty good at what they do, and I'm excited.
Definitely. Great. Time for Michael to read you all lovely people some pre-information.
Yeah, so we have entered Witch Month, finally. I know last week we took a bit of a hiatus. We were supposed to review The Invisible Man, and we did watch it. We just didn't have time to film an episode and get it released in time for last Wednesday's release. Jesus
and
Christ.
we were both way too tired.
Yes, there was a lot going on. We just couldn't, the schedules weren't lining up, so we just weren't able to produce anything. So we posted on the Facebook page that we were going to be skipping last Wednesday and returning this Wednesday at the start of Witch Month. So if you didn't know that, it's because you're not following our Facebook page. So go give us a follow on Facebook to stay updated with us. That's been our main form of communication so far. We don't have, like, a Twitter account or any of that. So basically just Facebook. If you
Twitter sucks.
Twitter sucks, you're right.
I hate Twitter. It's a scourge on existence.
Yeah, so Facebook has been our big one.
Facebook's not much better.
No, but that's what we started with, and that's where we have most of the followers.
User-friendly.
Yeah, most of the followers are on that. So if you do have a Facebook, go give us a follow on there. We have a TikTok as well, which is gaining a little bit more following there as well, but we haven't posted much on there, but we'd like to get some videos rolling and just, like, small skits and stuff.
I definitely want to start working on more skits.
Yeah.
No, this is, like, in podcast now, but there's some more like, if anybody has seen it already, I made, like, a little ad thing that I filmed by myself and, like, acted in and shit. and just sent it to Michael for approval. I was like, "Is this okay?"
Yeah.
But I want to start doing more stuff like that.
Yeah. So those
Actually have it as like a combined effort instead of just me.
So those are going to be in the works shortly. Got to plan some of those out and get those rolling for TikTok content and just content in general. So
big plans for the podcast.
Yeah. So we're moving, we're thinking, we're getting there. Just be patient. But again, Facebook's the best way to stay updated with us. And that's basically that. But we're diving into Witch Month with the 2015 movie The Witch. So this one, the ratings for this are decently good. I've never seen it. Have you ever seen this?
I've never seen it. Okay. I know like references to it, but I don't know what actually happens in the movie.
Yeah.
Like I've surprisingly avoided spoilers too, like all these years.
Yeah, I don't know shit about fuck.
Yeah.
But Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 90%. IMDb gave it a 6.9 out of 10, and 78% of Google users like this movie. So decently, ratings are okay.
I just realized this came out during my breakup.
Oh.
So this was 2015. This was like when shit was starting to go south. Yeah, so like this, I was not paying attention to movies at this point.
Fair enough. This is like the year. Yeah, this is the year that we graduated. It came out in October though.
Yeah, it was a month or two later. Yeah. October's 4 months after June. I'm fucking stupid.
Yeah, October 2015.
I don't know months. I thought October was right after June, as we're in July.
You're close enough, right? It's all right.
I'm sorry, I just got off a 12-hour shift this morning, and we're filming this literally 2 hours later.
Yeah.
I've had an hour of sleep.
Yep.
Me and Michael have both gotten new jobs, and we're both trying to get accustomed to everything.
Yeah, that's why, like I said, last week's episode just did not work out. We just couldn't, the schedules weren't lining up, and we just had a bunch of shit to do, so it just didn't work. But we're back, no worries. But the director for this movie also is Robert Eggers, and it had a $4 million budget, so, I'm not expecting something that's like, what was the one that we watched? It had like Terrifier. Terrifier had like a, like 20,000 or something like that budget, so this one had a decently sized budget, so it should be pretty good in terms of like...
I have watched The Lighthouse, and I love that movie, so I might actually like this movie a lot. I haven't seen The Northman, though.
Mm-mm.
That's brand new.
Yeah, 2022.
It's apparently good. It's Bill Skarsgård's brother. I forget his name. Alex or something?
Something like that, yeah. Something like that.
Yeah, that also looks good. But yeah, Robert Eggers, a master of the craft at this point.
Yeah. But for those who don't know what The Witch is about, I'll just read you a little bio off of Google real quick. If I pronounce anybody's names wrong in here, I apologize. I have not seen the movie, so I'm just going to give it my best shot. And we all know that I'm not the greatest at pronouncing things, but I'm just going to give it a go. So, bio for this is, in 1630 New England, panic and despair envelops the farmer, his wife, and their children when youngest son Samuel suddenly vanishes. The family blames Thomasin, the oldest daughter who was watching the boy at the time of his disappearance. With suspicion and paranoia mounting, twin siblings Mercy and Jonas suspect Thomasin of witchcraft, testing the clan's faith, loyalty, and love to one another. So, I guess basically, one of those child goes missing, she's supposed to be watching, and they assume that she had something to do with it, is what I'm gaining from that. Haven't seen it. Definitely an interesting plot, I assume. I feel like, I don't know why, in the back of my head, I feel like it's going to be pretty boring, like a slow burn.
That's, I think, why I avoided it, because it's another A24 movie, so it's in that elevated horror type genre. This movie actually kind of like kickstarted a lot of like the big movement towards that. So I think that's why I still stayed away from it for the longest time. Yeah. But here we are.
Gonna give it a shot. Give it a whirl. It has pretty good ratings, so I'm hoping that it's not going to be a flop. Like I said, probably will be a slow burn, but as long as there's some redeeming stuff in there, I'm okay with that. So I don't know. I think. Is that it? Do we have anything else?
Yeah, that's everything.
All right, so we're going to dive into it right now. We're going to give you our little cut with our trailer break, and then we will be back for some spoilers and some in-depth review, our fear of flop rating, and so on. So, see you shortly.
Yeah, after the trailer.
What went we out into this wilderness to find? Leaving our country, kindred, our fathers' houses. For what? For the kingdom of God. Let us pray.
Boo! There you are. Boo! Ba, ba, ba.
You've cursed this family.
Who's there?
Oh God, my Lord, I now begin. Oh, help me and don't leave my sin. For I repentant thou shalt be. From evil I will turn to thee. None ever shall destroy my faith. For I repentant thou shalt be. Oh God, my Lord, I now begin. Oh, help me and don't leave my sin. For I repentant thou shalt be. From evil I will turn to thee.
Let us leave the Lord.
And we're back. I hope you enjoyed that trailer a little bit more than we enjoyed this movie. I won't lie.
I'm way more tired than I was earlier.
Yeah. We got like maybe halfway through and he's like, I'm so bored. And it is another slow burn. As I thought in the beginning of this episode, I said, we're probably going to be watching a slow burn again. And it was. And I don't think it was as bad as Midsummer. Midsummer was very, very slow and bad.
Well, the thing with this is it's shorter in length. It's only an hour and a half. It's not 3 fucking hours long where nothing happens.
True.
It's about an hour where nothing's happening, at least in this.
Yeah.
So that like half hour you have condensed pretty much all your kills, all your everything else.
Yeah, the time aspect definitely helped that a lot. If this was another 3-hour movie that was this slow, I think I would have just shut it off halfway through and been like, guys, we can't do this. Like, we just can't do another one. But thankfully it was only an hour and a half, so that was nice.
The fucking dialogue drags so much because it's all like old English,
Yeah.
like Bible verses and shit and prayers and all this shit.
Yeah, we had to turn the closed captioning on because I literally...
Yeah, you can't hear half this movie.
Yeah, we got like maybe 10 minutes in and I look at him and I'm like, can you put the closed captioning on? I'm like, I have no idea what the fuck these people are saying. Like, it was just a
Between
mix.
the accents
Yeah.
and just how quiet everything is, like you can't hear anything.
Yeah, and it was just the way that they talk, obviously, in that time is a lot differently than we talk now. So it was just a mix of that, a mix of just the sound and just everything. And I'm just like, I don't know what they're saying. Like, I would get like words here and there, and I'm trying to piece together the sentences as they're still talking, and I'm just like, I can't put you need to put that on. Like, I cannot watch this without it.
I had it turned up like way loud in the beginning, and it was all right for hearing stuff. But then they'd like try to do a jump scare or something, or like the music would rise, and it would get so fucking loud.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they did the mixing well in this movie.
Yeah, that is. I feel like that's in a lot of movies, though, honestly, where it's just like, you can't hear what the people are saying, and you turn it up, and it sounds better, and then this music comes in, and it's like overpowering, and it's like, oh, fuck. Like, even at home, like, whenever
they're
I'm
not,
watching.
like, thinking ahead of time for,
Yeah.
like... I mean, why should they think ahead of time? They're just making a movie for theaters, but at the same time, think about the home video, and think about the setups that people have. Try to mix accordingly.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's something in there, like, when it gets to, like, the DVD, where they try to mix stuff down more, but still, it's not well done.
Yeah, true, but it is what it is. We were able to, once the closed captioning was on, it was a little bit easier to follow, and you could definitely understand them. And it's just a lot of, like you said, like Bible verses and a lot of like religion into this, which obviously this was what I think the 1800s, like 18.
No, 16.
Oh, 16. Okay, 16. Yeah, okay, you're right. 16 something. So it's very religion based, and I think that's another aspect that I just personally didn't like because it was just a lot of like nonsense to me.
I was so bored.
Yeah,
Like, I
that's
dealt with the shit as a kid. Like, I don't want to deal with it as an adult. Like,
Yeah.
I chose to walk away.
yeah, that's part of why it was pretty boring too. But I mean, like I said, I knew that coming into it, so that wasn't really. It's not that it was an issue. It was just like very preachy, like, and just I don't know. It was.
It's for the story, so it's not like preaching at you, like, to
Yeah.
any sort of, oh, you have to believe this shit. It's just, it's literally people preaching at each other.
Yeah, exactly. And it was a lot of like just nonsense. Like the mom, just the way that she reacted to literally everything in this was
The
just
mom's
like,
the biggest piece of shit in this movie.
yeah,
He keeps losing kids, but holy shit, she's
it blames everybody
a
else.
lunatic.
Yeah.
Everything is someone else's problem.
Yeah, and like the dad, like he seemed like he was a good dude, right? Like he's in here and he's trying to provide for his family the best that he can, but like is it really the best that he can do when all he's really seen doing is chopping wood?
I think he's just a bad dad. He's not.
He's not a bad dad, just doesn't know.
I think he's my favorite character out of the whole movie, like 100%.
Yeah.
But he's a very supportive dad up until like the last half hour.
Yes, that's true.
And then like he flips his lid, he just starts going fucking crazy. And then he turns out to be like a really fucking shitty dad.
Yeah.
Locks his fucking kids in with a fucking goat overnight in the cold and rain.
Yep.
Way to go, Dad.
Yeah, as your kids are going missing and one comes back like all cursed and shit, and then your idea is, oh, let me just lock my fucking kids in this shed real quick with the goats, and the goat, especially that the one like that his daughter was telling him was like possessed with the devil, and he's just like, yeah, we're just gonna lock them all in this pen together, and we're leaving in the morning.
We literally can skip to that because the entire beginning of this movie, for like the first hour, one person dies.
Yeah.
It isn't
Baby.
until that last half hour where literally the whole family gets wiped out.
Yeah, like it starts off, they're being banished from their town for whatever reason. I don't know why.
I don't know if they were banished or they just like chose to leave like a settlement and then like make their own farm or something.
Maybe, I don't know. But
don't know
whatever.
what the fuck.
Whatever was happening, they're talking and they have to leave or whatever. And they go to this farm on the outskirts. And like immediately this baby goes missing. Thomason, which is like the older daughter here, she's probably like maybe 16 or so, maybe. She's watching him, and he's just a little baby, like maybe like 6 months old. And she's like playing hide and go seek with him. She's covering her eyes, and she's just playing her peekaboo or whatever. And she closes her eyes and puts her hands over her eyes, like 2 seconds, okay, like 2 seconds. And then she opens them, and this baby is just missing. And she's just looking all around. And she's like, "What the fuck?" And like the woods are like pretty good distance from her yet. It's not like she was right by the woods, but the theory became that like a wolf came and snatched the baby, and it's just like
You can see like a little bit of a figure in the background of the shot, like as they're running away with the baby, but it's like nothing clear. But you find out it's a fucking witch.
yeah, it's, I mean, obviously we know that coming into it, but like they assume that it's this wolf of some sort that just took the baby, and it's like, don't you think that you would have seen the wolf? But whatever, that's kind of irrelevant, but it was just funny. But then it cuts to, you know, this witch in the woods with this baby, and I mean, I don't know for certain, but it sure looked like she cut his little pecker off, and then like
She diced and sliced that pecker, and she mashed that baby into a literal pulp.
yeah,
That was
disgusting. Disgusting. Oh my god. But yeah, she had like this little bowl and she was just like mixing up, like, oh my god, it was gross. And then she like smeared it on her body, and I was just like, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
she smeared it on her body and her broom so she could fly.
Awesome.
But like, why babies?
I don't know. It's like the innocence of it. And I think they made a comment at some point about like he wasn't baptized yet, so like maybe they needed like a certain.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't baptized, so they probably needed just like any fucking child.
Yeah.
Who wasn't like
He
had
was.
anything spiritual.
Yeah, he
to
was
him.
pure. He didn't have any
Yeah,
religion in
yeah,
his
yeah.
his body yet, I guess. So that's the first kill here, and then the whole movie is just like the mother is like obviously and rightfully so depressed, but she's just not sure like, and she's not doubting her religion, but at some point she makes a comment in this movie to her husband about how like she doesn't understand like why her prayers aren't working, and just like nonsense. It's like nonsense.
The amount of rants that this woman goes on throughout this hour and a half long period, oh my fucking god. Like, I wanted to slap her. Like, it's so annoying at a point. Because it's every little thing, like, every minor inconvenience. It's another fucking rant about how the devil's here. And it's like, shut up, please. You don't have any fucking facts to fucking back anything up.
Yeah.
You have the dad and Thomason who are like outside doing shit majority of the time, who see like shit happening, and like they're trying to tell her, oh yeah, this happened, and yet she's still, no, it's the devil, it's the devil. Shut up.
Yeah. And even just like everything that they do for the family just isn't good enough to her. Like when the dad and Caleb were out like trying to hunt and get some pelts that they could sell and trade for food, and like doing these things to try to help the family, and they come back, and because they lied to her about it, she had like this whole bitch fit, like, because I guess lying is a sin, and it's just like but it's not like they were lying about going out to the woods to kill babies or some shit. Like they were saying that they were looking for an apple tree or some shit, and instead they were trying to hunt to
Yeah,
provide for the family.
I follow a strong rule of thumb that if your lie is to benefit someone else, who the fuck gives a shit?
Apparently God.
Fuck you, God. I don't want any of your bullshit. Because I'm going to benefit people with my secrets.
Secrets. Okay. You'd fit right into the government, that's for sure.
You're not wrong.
All right, but after that, you know, the next person to die in this is Caleb, as at some point in this, him and Thomason go into the woods. I forget what they were trying. I think they were just trying to do the same thing that him and the dad were doing the day before. Like they were just trying to get more pelts.
Yeah,
and
they were
just-
collecting like stuff from traps.
Yeah.
And I think trying to find the apple tree too.
Yeah, so
Or a apple tree.
they go back into the woods and they see this rabbit again, and the dog starts chasing it, and then Caleb runs after the dog. The horse that Thomason is on gets spooked and like knocks her off, and then she gets knocked out, so she's just laying in the woods while Caleb is going to run for the dog. And obviously, you know, he's the next one that encounters the witch, which that scene, by the way, very weird. And I can't imagine that it, like how, like filming that had to have been very weird, because like
yeah, making out with a child in
Yeah.
any sense of the way is very uncomfy to watch.
he encounters this witch in her hut, and she like comes out, and she's not looking like the witch we saw before. Like the witch that we saw in the beginning was this very
Yeah, she's
old
much
lady, like
younger and like
yeah. This
More-
witch was young and pretty. And this whole movie, he's like staring at his sister's boobs, by the way, and like being
yeah,
real
this
fucking
fucking
weird.
kid has like the creepiest fucking obsession with his sister's boobs.
Yeah, so
I understand you're a fucking like sheltered child in a fucking cabin with only like your siblings, but what the fuck?
yeah,
Why?
yeah. So
Why is this a thing throughout the entire film?
yeah. So when he finally, he encounters this witch, and she's like a pretty, like, I don't know, she's probably like in her 20s maybe. She's like a younger witch, and he just like goes up to her, and she just starts making out with him, and then obviously like takes his soul or some shit. And you presume that he dies there, but he doesn't die there. He shows up later that night while Thomason is out, like getting the goats in their pen or whatever, and she sees him, and she brings him in the house. He's naked, got scratches all over his body, and the mom is freaking out, they take him up and they start like leeching him. Like they cut a slit in his eyebrow and start like bleeding him out just to try to like cleanse his soul of the devil. And you know, obviously that shit doesn't work.
You got spirits in your blood.
Yeah. Obviously that didn't work. So like the next morning or whatever, they're all outside and then they hear this scream and they go in and he's just like possessed kind of in a way. Just yelling, screaming about how like just
flailing all over the place.
yeah. So
We don't know if he lost his pee-pee though.
yeah, that's good question. That's what I said like when we were watching. I'm like, I wonder if she cut his dick off too, but I don't think so. They didn't show any of that, or I think the mom would have been freaking the fuck out if he would have came back without his dick. But he's the next one, and after that, while that's going down, the two little siblings, which are the twins, Jonas and
Who are
Mercy.
also annoying pieces of shit.
Oh my
This
god!
entire
Yes,
movie.
the whole movie they are just not listening to anybody, and just running around, and just they're so annoying, not helping,
They're
not
the
doing anything.
most antagonistic characters.
Yes,
in the entire
100%.
movie.
But this whole time, like that this is happening with Caleb, they're blaming Thomason and saying that, oh, she's the witch. Like she told us, and she did tell them that, but like it was in like a joking, like she was just trying to scare the one little girl. When the little girl came up to them when they were at the creek, and she was like, I am the witch.
While this goat is talking to them, like
Yeah.
you'd think, oh yeah, that's maybe fucking the witches, since the goat is literally talking to the fucking kids.
Yeah. Yeah, but nobody
no.
pieces that together because why would they, right?
Exactly.
Until, Thomason tries to tell the dad then, like, no, like, Jonas and Mercy are talking to Black Phillip. Like, he's the devil. Like, there's something going on with that. Like, they're cursed with Black Phillip. So instead of trying to get down to the bottom of it, the dad just locks them all in the fucking pen together. Like, that's the best idea.
Find out who it
Yeah.
is.
We're leaving in the morning. Whoever makes it.
That's pretty much what it is. It's literally a fucking cage match.
Yeah. And, the mom, and while that's going down, the dad then goes to sleep or whatever, and the mom comes down the steps or whatever, and she sees Caleb and the baby, even though they're both dead, but she sees them and she's like talking to them, like, should I wake your father? Like, we're so happy, he'll be so happy to see you both. And I don't even know how the whole thing folds down, but then it cuts back and like there's a crow like pecking at her titties. Like, it's so weird. It's such a weird scene.
That nipple is gone.
Oh,
for
yeah.
The rest of the movie.
100%. But it's such a weird scene. But anyway, that scene's over then, and they wake up in the morning, and the dad wakes up. The mom's laying next to him. I thought she was dead. She wasn't dead. She's just laying down. Her nipple's all bloody, though. You can see it through her shirt. The dad gets up, goes outside, and he sees immediately that, like, all of the goats are dead and just bloody. Like, something was eating them or whatever. And the cage that he locked the kids in was like broken open, and Thomason is just laying there like she's just waking up now too. And then while he's looking at Thomason, doesn't say anything, nothing happens, and then just out of the blue, Black Phillip comes up and fucking just spears him. Like,
Guts that bitch.
yeah, horns right through his fucking stomach. And what's funny is that he goes to pick up the fucking axe, right? Because he's like, oh, yeah, you want to fucking do that? I'm going to cut your head off. And then he drops it. What the fuck? What?
Fuck knows.
Yeah, it just drops
Poor
it.
logic at its finest.
Yeah, that's true. You're not wrong. But just drops the axe, and then, Black Phillip just fucking rams him into the goddamn big-ass wood pile, since that's all he does this whole movie is chop wood. And good going, because now you had all this wood fall on you, and now the dad's dead, so he was the next one. And then the mom comes out, and holy shit, she's just losing her shit, because now she's 100% convinced that it's Thomason that's doing this, because she's the only one alive now, as Jonas and Mercy are missing, and obviously everybody else is dead. So she's 100% convinced that Thomason is the witch that is doing this to her family, and, with how religious she is, she's just fucking going nuts. So she basically like tackles Thomason, and they're on the ground, and then Thomason reaches and was able to get like a knife of some sort, and she essentially just like kills her mom that way, like as her mom's like strangling her. And that was wild. but self-defense. So
She was bleeding a lot.
yeah, that was a lot. And at first, like the first time she hits her with the knife, you see the slits on her eyes, and I'm just like, okay, cool. And then it pans back down to Thompson on the ground, and you just see this blood like dripping all over her, like really fast. And I'm just like, wait, like she was not just dripping blood when I just saw it. Like, where the fuck is that blood coming from? And then it pans back up to the mom, and then you do see it coming from her eyebrows. But I was just like, that was weird. But
It's a very realistic blood trickle. Telling Michael about all the head injuries that I've had, and the blood is very similar.
yeah.
So they did a good job with that effect.
Yeah, I mean, it just, at first it just kind of fooled me because of, like, I didn't see it dripping, and then I was like, where is that blood dripping from? And then I saw it, so that was nice. But that's pretty much the end of the movie. Then she kills the mom, and then she goes into the pen with Black Phillip. At this point, Black Phillip and her are, like, the only two people. I guess he's not a people, but, you know, the only living things left are her and Black Phillip. So she goes in, and she's like, well, you talk to me like you've been talking to Mercy and Jonas. Like, I want to know, like why or whatever. She's just asking him, like, if he would talk to her. And as she's, like, about to turn away, I don't know exactly what he said, but he just starts talking to her. And then there's, like, this dude that you can see in the corner that's actually, like, whispering in her ear. And I'm just like, damn. Creepy.
Would you like to taste butter?
Yeah, yeah.
Would you like a nice dress? Would you like to see the world? Wouldst thou like to live deliciously?
That's literally like it verbatim. And it's funny because Adam said it to me like before that scene was happening, and I was just,
whispered to him, "What's thou like?"
yeah, and I thought he was just like, I don't know, being a fucking idiot, and then they literally started saying it, and I was like, oh, okay.
That's the only thing that I knew about this movie before.
That was funny. The movie just ends with her signing the book, or putting her name in the book or whatever, and then she goes into the woods naked. And
He didn't sign her name.
but he said, yeah,
signed
he
her.
said he would sign it like for her or whatever, like
Guides
with
her
her,
hand.
guide her hand, yeah. But whatever, she signs it, and then she goes into the woods naked, and there's this like group of witches in the woods that are just like doing a sacrifice of some sort, like just,
It's a group of witches, a harem, or what? I forget.
I don't fucking know.
There's a certain name for a group of witches.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's gonna bug me.
I don't have much witch knowledge at the moment, as again haven't had much time to research. But hoping for next episode, I'll have a little bit more knowledge into like Salem witch trials and all that. Like I know some things, but I don't want to speak on much because I don't want to say the wrong things. So we'll have some more witch knowledge for you as we're coming up. We're just entering witch month, so
A fucking coven. Coven of witches.
you forgot coven.
I did.
I forgot it too, so I can't say nothing. But
Don't talk shit,
what the
bitch.
fuck did you say? A harem?
Yeah, I said a harem. That's like, I think a group of prostitutes or something.
How the fuck did we forget coven?
Because I'm a fucking idiot and I'm tired. I literally had 1 hour
Listen.
sleep after a 12-hour shift into this fucking podcast, and we just watched one of the most boring fucking movies of our life. What do you expect from me right now?
All I know is that there's a fucking listener out there right now that just listened to you say, what is it called? A harem? And just cracked up like this bitch. Like, it's a coven, you idiot.
I got there. It's fine.
Oh, man. But, I mean, that's really the movie. Just a bunch of religion and just fucking hypocrisy. And obviously, like,
Religion and hypocrisy go well together, so.
you're not wrong. But seriously, that's all that it is. I mean, it's obviously pulling from like the Salem witch trials. The witch isn't a true story, by the way. This is all fictional. But it's pulling from like how people really viewed women at this time. Like if you were disobedient and you didn't listen, you didn't follow the gender roles of that time, like you were a witch. And it's like, just because like she speaks up for herself and like denies what the accusations that are coming towards her doesn't make her a witch. But at this time period, it was the devil's tongue for her to speak back to her parents and just fucking, whatever. But we'll get more into that kind of stuff as we go along. Like I said, we just started Witch Month, so we wanted to do the Witch first. And I think next week, are we doing Blair Witch or are we going somewhere else?
We'll probably do Blair Witch. I don't know how witchy the vibes are with that. I mean, I've seen some of it. I haven't seen it since I was a kid. It's gonna be our first found footage of the podcast.
So probably Blair Witch. I think that's where we're going next. After that, I don't think we've decided. I know we're talking about wanting to do Fear Street at some point. Maybe we can fit that in this month. I've seen those movies a million times, so that would be fun. But again, looking for any recommendations that anybody might have if you want to.
Oh, we're completely dumbasses. Fear flop.
Oh, that's right. I wanted to say right when we came in, and I completely forgot.
I did too.
All right, you want to go first? Fear flop.
I'm going with a flop 3.
Flop 3. Okay. All right.
I liked it, but it's better than Midsummer, but it's still fucking on par with boring elevated horror. I'm tired.
Yeah.
Throughout the entire fucking thing.
Clearly. And if you can't hear him that well, it's because he's literally laying in his fucking chair.
Yeah, I'm at that point.
So that's, okay.
I apologize. I'll boost audio if I have to later.
I guess for me, I don't know. I don't think I want to give it a fear because I didn't like it that much. I don't think I hated it either, but I'd probably give it like a flop, and I'd probably give it like, I don't know, maybe like a flop 1 or 2. I don't think it was that awful. It was a slow build or a slow build, slow burn. That's I'm fucking burned out too.
Yeah.
It's a slow burn. But I don't know. I feel like I like movies about like witches and like shit like that. So I feel like that's why I was more interested.
It requires way too much attention.
Yeah, that's why I literally we had to turn the closed caption on because I couldn't fucking understand what they were saying. But like I was trying my best to pay attention to it, and it's not that I hated it because I didn't hate it. I just like if you were to ask me to watch this or something else, I'd probably pick something else depending on what it was. Unless it was Midsummer, then I would pick this. But
is there any other quote that you have taken from this movie except "What's thou like to live deliciously"?
No.
That's the only clear quote in this entire fucking movie.
You're right. The mom.
Is the Black Phillip speech at the end.
The mom called Thomason a slut at some point, telling her that she was looking at her brother and her father, and I'm just like, no, the brother was looking at her.
Brother was fucking a creep.
Yeah. Yikes.
So weird.
Yeah, so I guess flop 3 you said? Or 4?
Yeah, flop 3.
Flop 3 and flop 1 from me. Definitely still check it out if you
said flop 2.
I said 1 or 2.
Oh, okay.
So 1.5. Just make it easy.
That works.
But no, check it out if you have not seen it. It's not something that's so awful to sit through, really. I mean, it's a little slow, like we said, but it's only an hour and a half. So if you haven't seen it, just go watch it. It's not.
See it to see it.
Yeah, it's see it to see it. Black Phillip's in it, and he's cool. Cool black goat. So watch it for him. That's kind of why I wanted to watch it. I won't lie. But I think that's it. Do you have anything else?
Everything from me for today.
Everything. Okay. So next week we'll be diving into Blair Witch, which is we'll talk more in depth of that next episode. But I know that's something that we're excited for because of Adam's projects that he wants to do in the future. So we'll touch on that maybe next week a little bit.
Going to the land of Mary.
But we'll touch up on that. In the meantime, if you have not yet liked our Facebook page, please do that. If you have not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do that. And if you have not yet gave our podcast a rate on Spotify, please also do that. Really appreciate that. That does help us grow. You can also share our Facebook page on your Facebook, help us reach more people. That's also very helpful as well. Just looking forward to putting out more content. Like we said in the beginning of this episode, we have a bunch of things lined up, a bunch of ideas to do. So we're excited to continue the journey, and we really appreciate your guys' help in allowing us to do that. I know I say that every week, every episode, but
I need to hear it.
You need to hear it. You do.
Can't do this without you.
Very true. But I think on that note, we will see you guys next week for Blair Witch and to continue Witch Month.
Yep. See you next week.